Good evening, children. Today we are going to read the poem The King. The title of the poem is The King, which was written by Mary Dobbs. As you are aware that in the previous, today also or 2 3 years back also, means up to you class 5th or 6th, 7th, 8th, you would have read or heard about many stories, especially in the night time. Your grandparents, your father, mother, or your brother, sister, they narrate various kind of stories to you or various kind of poems to you. So in this poem we are going to read about a particular king who was having certain qualities. Children or people have always loved stories and poems about kings and queens. Especially the children are very much interested in reading stories and poems about kings and queens. Through the ages, deeds of daring and tales of the great kings have been celebrated. Their story poems spread out far and wide. Wandering minstrels. Know the meaning of the word minstrels? The word minstrels means singers or musicians of medieval times who wandered from place to place singing their stories. These people were not stable at one place. They used to move from place to place, and in the meantime they used to narrate various kind of stories through the method of singing. Wandering minstrels sing them in towns and villages. Means today they are in this village, next day they are in some other place, or after a few days they are at some other place. They used to sing them in the towns and villages, marketplaces, as well as in the countryside. The good deeds the kings did are sung over the ages. Means whatever good qualities or whatever good work has been done by the king, that is presented in the form of stories or in the form of song or in the form of poems decades after his death. At the present time, we are able to hear stories about several kings. For example, you all people hear the story, so I'll just quote an example. There are many stories about kings and emperors, like the kind-hearted king Vikramaditya. You would have heard so many stories about the king Vikramaditya or Mughal emperor Akbar. Akbar's court was famous for which thing? It was famous for 9 jewels or 9 gems, who always had the good of their people. Means that these kings always wanted to do something welfaric, to do something good of their people at heart. Means from the inner core of their heart. Means they willingly themselves wanted to do something good for the people. It was not that they were forced, but they liked to help the people. Often these rulers would disguise themselves and go out of their palaces to mix with the ordinary people. Now, just tell me one thing. For example, you are the prime minister or you are the king. In front of you, your ministers are never going to do anything wrong. If they will see that you are coming, if they will see that the king is coming, then they will, means actually what they used to do, they will not do in front of the king, and the king will never get any kind of information that his ministers are doing what kind of jobs, they are trustworthy or not, whether they are helping the people or they are creating problems for the people. So the king used to change his get-up. The king used to change his get-up and he used to visit the places, sometimes in the market, sometimes in the temples, sometimes he used to move here and there just as a wanderer. Means he used to visit the several places and he used to meet the people in different gestures or different by different characters. And then what used to happen? He used to know about the exact thing. Why? Because the ordinary people, I'm talking about the ordinary people, will only tell you about the fact that what is going on in the kingdom. This is how they would get information, what else they could do to run their kingdom more efficiently. And this was one of their methods to know about that what else they could do apart from this work, what extra they could do to help the people and to make their administration more efficiently and better, and to increase the standard of lives of the people. I hope so that the beginning would be clear to you. So now I am moving to the poem. My poem is, just give attention on my last words, the words which are coming at the end of the line. They are same in the sense of they are rhyming pair words. The last word of each line means the first line and the second line is making rhyming, it is composed of rhyming pair words. Now pay attention. One day at school, a tale we read, a tale that was quite true, they said. One day at school, we were reading a story, or we were hearing a story which was taught by our teacher. A tale that was quite true, and the story which was being narrated by our teacher was very appropriate, was a true story. They said. It was written in the story, they said. See the last two words. The first line, the last word is read, and the second line, the last word is said. So both these words, read and said, are rhyming words. And when I walk or play or sit, and when I walk or play or sit, to eat, I often think of it. And after hearing that story, whatever activity I was doing, whether I was playing, eating, sitting, whatever I was doing, I was just thinking of that story, of that tale which was narrated to us in the class. And actually what happens, whatever kind of things you perform in your daytime, that kind of dreams related to that kind of characters only come at the time while you are sleeping. Once lived a king in times of old. Now we are moving to the tale story. Once lived a king in times of old means in the medieval period there used to be a king who laid aside his crown of gold. One day what happened? He kept his crown, means the attire of a king, the dress up of a king. He left all those get-ups, means the crown and the attire, on one side. And the attire, the crown was of gold. The crown of the king was made of gold. He kept all those things in a corner and left his throne and royal state. He left his throne and he left out his area, means his area, to see his subjects poor or great, just to have a glance of the subjects means of the citizens of his kingdom, whether they were poor or great, whether the citizens of his kingdom were poor or great. He went out to have a glance of that. In Sadhu's robe. Sadhu, you know? Sadhu means simply, and what is the uniform of a sadhu? What kind of dress? The dress which they wear is of saffron hue. Saffron is a orange yellow color. Saffron is a orange yellow color, and this saffron is also a spice which is used in cooking. So now in the gesture of a sadhu, he moved out in saffron hue. Now saffron color, he moved out of his palace. He wandered all the city through. He went from one place to another. He made a tour of his entire kingdom, or robed in merchantmen's attire, and sometimes in the uniform of a merchant, in the dress of a merchant, or in the gesture of a merchant. He used to move here and there, means he used to have a observation. He used to observe about the people, about their conditions, about their sufferings, what kind of environment is needed. He watched the seller and the buyer. He used to observe, he used to very keenly observe the shopkeeper and the buyer, shopkeeper and the customer. He used to observe all these activities, but his quality was that daily he was in some other attire. One day he is sadhu, then the next day he will become a tradesman or a businessman. He saw the cheat outwit the fool. He saw the cheat outwit the... He also saw that how one person is deceiving. Deceiving means to do something wrong, to make the other person fool. He also saw that how the people were cheated, how one person was cheating the other person, or they were making fool of the other person. The wretch who was a villain's tool. The wretch who was a villain's tool. A person who is unjustly by a wicked person. It simply means the wretch who was a villain's tool. Many people at the time, a person who is used unjustly by a wicked person, means any kind of negative methods. Any kind of negative methods were used by some people. Some people were using negative methods to get the profit. He saw the cheat outwit the fool. He saw the cheat outwit the fool. They rest who was a villain's tool. He heard the pleading cry that rose. He also heard the sufferers, the people, those who were suffering from sorrow, suffering from pains, from slaves fast shackled by their woes. And certain slaves were there, certain slaves, you know, servants, and these servants are hereditary. For example, if you have taken any amount of money from someone and you are not able to pay, then I will shackle you. Shackle here word means imprisoned. Shackle means imprisoned. A pair of rings connected by a chain used to fasten the prisoner's wrist or anklets together. Whenever you would have seen that the policeman, whenever they have arrested someone, then they use this method. They shackle both his wrists and then they used to take away. So such kind of things were also seen. He saw the mothers who would give her life blood that her child might live. He was seeing the qualities of a mother, that the mother was ready to do anything for the sake of his child. Means that the mother was ready to give up her life or her blood for the sake of his son or daughter. Means it shows the maternal love. It shows the kind of emotions or the kind of love which your blood is having. Her lifeblood that her child might live. The needy beggar who would speed to help a friend in greater need. And several people, means this world, this society is made of several kind of people. Some are needy, some are ready to help, and some are there, those who are neither sufferer nor they are having any kind of problems, but then also they show that they are having lot of problems just to get help from others. But here the poor people, the needy beggar who would speed to help a friend in greater need. Even the beggars, the people, those who beg for money, they are ready, they are helping the people who are in need. Means initially they are begging for money and they are helping out, or they are giving out that money to the needy person, to their friend circle or whosoever is in need. He saw that love could conquer all, and the most important thing, love is powerful. He saw that love could conquer all. The king realized that love is the best weapon. By the words of love, by the words of emotions, you can get each and everything. In your house only, in your home only, you would have seen that if you request your parents, if you request your father, mother, or anyone of your family, then all your deeds or desires are fulfilled. Whatever you wish to eat, and if you request your mother, then that demand is going to be fulfilled. So the poet has said that love could conquer all. According to the poet, love is the best weapon. By this weapon, you can conquer the entire world. You can easily get the attraction. You can easily get the support of others. On the other side, if you are trying to show your power, if you are trying to show your strength, you may not be successful. And on the same time, if you request someone, then your demands can be fulfilled. Yeah, as he passed through street and mart, the king in different attires, he used to pass the streets and mart. Mart here means markets. He used to cross several streets and markets. He felt the city's throbbing heart, and then he was able to enjoy. Then he was able to enjoy the happiness. His heart used to feel very happy when he used to do or to make those rounds. Then back he went, and from that time, then he used to go back to his crown, to his area, to his throne, and from that time and from then onwards, he ruled with knowledge more than sublime. He used to rule, means for making the people happy, you have to use your knowledge also, you have to use your brain also. For helping the other person, you should use your brain. Means the other person should not realize that you are helping him, and he should get the help also. That is the quality. Means that is the use of your knowledge. Then back he went, and from that time he ruled with knowledge more sublime. Then he started noble methods, lofty, great methods he applied. With milder justice, he was doing justice to his crown. He was doing justice to his people. His main intention was to make his citizens happy, safe and secure. Main terms were to make his citizens happy, to sort out their problems, or to make his kingdom sorrowless or with no sorrows. Though more keen, though he was very much eager, interested. This king was very much interested. He was very much keen. Keen means he was very much in need, or he was very much enthusiastic about helping the other person or helping the needy. But scarce one knew where he had been. But nobody was aware. That from where the king can provide him the help, or the people were not able to know that from where our problems are being sorted out, from where God is helping us, or from which angle or from which direction all our problems are sorted out. This kind of quality the king was having. This kind of quality or a helping nature the king was having. He used to help the poor, the needy person, either in the form of a sadhu, either in the form of some other, a businessman, trader. He used to watch all his areas. He used to keep a keen eye on his kingdom, and then he used to help them or support them. This tale we read, and you will see. This tale, this story we have read, and you will see, you will realize what made a wonder world for me. What kind of a wonderful world is for me. For now I feel at work or play, a king may meet me any day. So now the child is also having the same kind of interest, the same kind of enthusiasm, that in any form, whether the child is playing or he is doing any kind of activity, it might happen that he may be able to meet the king. You would have seen small kids, you would have seen that whatever kind of cartoons you watch, whatever kind of cartoons you watch, you think that you are the real one. For example, if you are watching Chhota Bheem, then you feel that you yourself are the Chhota Bheem. You try to act in the same manner. You try to wear the same kind of t-shirts, caps or other kind of things. If he is using a sword or any kind of thing, then you also use the same kind of thing. Especially the birthday cakes. Especially the birthday cakes. Whatever is your favorite character, you want that character on your cake. Is it right or wrong? Okay. So now, I would like to tell you certain meanings in this poem. The first meaning is, the first word is hue. H-U-E. The word hue means color. The word hue means color. Next word is minstrels. My next word is minstrels. M-I-N-S-T-R-E-L-S. It means the singers or musicians of medieval times. Medieval times means the middle period. The people or the singers or the musicians, they used to wander. Wander means to move from one place to another. They were never stable at one place. They used to move from one place to another. And at several places, they used to perform singing their stories. Means if today they are in your area, they will sing. Tomorrow some other place they are going to do the same thing again. Outwit. The word outwit means deceive someone by being cleverer than them. Many times what happens, you take the copy of your friend or you yourself hide your friend's copy. And when your friend is searching that copy, you say that you don't know. It means what? You are deceiving your friend. So the word deceive means that you are trying or you are outwitting your friend. Deceive someone by being cleverer than them. Saffron. Saffron is the color which is also in the national flag of India. It is orange yellow color. Orange yellow color, or it is a spice which is used in cooking. Saffron is also used in cooking. My next word is shackled. S-H-A-C-K-L-E-D. The word shackled means, you would have seen when the policeman arrest any person, they use a pair of rings. They use a pair of metal rings connected by a chain used to fasten the prisoner's wrist. The wrists are, both the wrists are chained with a metal ring on or on ankles together. Wrist or on ankles means on the foot or on the wrist, so that the culprit may not be able to run away from that place. So that the culprit may not be able to run away from that place. Next word is stall. S-T-A-L-L. The word stall means cowshed or stable, wherever cows are kept. So that is a cowshed. And the word stable means where horses are kept. Means a particular place is there where the animals are kept. It is known as stall or stable. Sublime. The word sublime means noble, lofty or great. Means a person is a very great or he is a very kind or noble. Next word is scarce one knew. Scarce one knew means no one was aware of. No one was aware of the king. Why? Because he was changing his gestures. Someday as a priest, someday as a trader, or someday as a normal citizen. So that were the qualities which were making him know about the facts of his kingdom, and this quality the citizens of that area were not able to recognize, that how our problems are sorted out. Though more keen. Next word is though more keen. Though more eager means when you are very much interested, or when you are very much enthusiastic. Means when you do something from your inner core of the heart, when you want really to do something. For example, if you love to play cricket or football, then you play with your full energy. Then nobody is going to say you don't play or don't do this, but you are totally willing to play. Means you get more happiness while you are playing. Though more eager, interested, or enthusiastic. Next word is villain's tool. A person who is used unjustly by a wicked person. Means you are taking the help of the other person and you are not letting him know that he is doing something wrong. Means a work which you are not able to perform, you are making the other person do the same work. That is known as villain's tool. In other words, I would say a person who is used unjustly by a wicked person. I hope so that this poem would be clear. But before this, I would like to talk about two more things. While you are reading a poem, you should read aloud. You should read aloud. Aloud means in a higher sound. You should read aloud row by row. Read the poem row by row. The rhyming pair words in the poem. Rhyming pair words which I have told you in the first stanza of the poem. One day to school, a tale we read, a tale that was quite true, they said. So the two ending words are read and said. These are the two ending words. So the rhyming pair words in the poem should be given more importance. And you will notice how the rhyming words sound the same. The most important thing is that how the rhyming words sound the same. The sound is coming same, but most of their spellings are different. That is the quality. Means the ending word, the ending alphabet is same, but the spelling is different. For example, if I say the word red, R-E-A-D, spelling is different. My next word is said, S-A-I-D. Both the spellings are different, both the meanings are different, but the pronunciation sound is going to be same. Pronunciation means the ending words. In the end, we are using the word the. Read, D sound is coming, or said, D sound is coming. So that is the quality of a rhyming poem. And if the poem is not rhyming, then it would be too difficult for you to understand that where the first line is ending. That creates a problem. So you should be paying more importance, or you should be giving more importance to rhyming words sound the same, but most of their spellings are different. So today you should read aloud row by row this poem, so that you may come to know that in what manner the words are going to be uttered. Uttered means how you are going to spell out these words. And I hope so that the poem would be clear. So for today, this much only.